It should have happened. Like, the stars were aligned. If a small company wants to compete against the biggest ones, they need to come out strong from the get-go. Let me do my job, what I do well, what I always do day to day every week for a lot of candidates. Talk to him again on what makes you different, what makes joining a smaller team potentially better for him as a next step in terms of like joining a much larger company. Like, let me see how I can help the situation. Hello and welcome back to another Week in the Life video where I show you what it's like behind the scenes to work as a recruiter in the technology industry. If you've seen from the previous week's video, you know that coming to this week, we are doing our best to actively manage 3 potential offers with 3 different companies, which is very exciting, nerve-wracking, and stressful all at the same time. Aside from that, we have a really busy day ahead of us, have about 15 calls, and then throughout the week, combination of reaching out to new businesses, sourcing priority positions, as well as picking up a brand new position with a new client that we're gonna engage with. So all in all, really excited to make this a good, productive week, as well as a good, productive Monday.
Don't have time to eat lunch again today, but was able to make a quick break and boil some eggs.
I reached out to you and shared the good news with you that they want to move forward and ask for references, which is obviously a great sign. So if that goes well, I don't see why we can't proceed to an offer round, which is exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting.
So wait, you said you already have an offer with another company?
Yeah, I have one. And I told everyone I'm waiting to get everything in. I mean, they're all very, very tight as far as, I love all 3 companies. I'm gonna have a tough decision to make here.
Any questions I can help with, just let me know. Just want to make sure I can do what I can so that you're in a good headspace to make a decision that you're excited about,
They are gonna do 170 with like a 15% cash bonus every year.
Oh, that's awesome, man. And do you know, and for the associate director, you can probably expect something like similar?
Yeah.
Are you looking for director level or leadership positions like that? I know that, you said...
I wasn't, but they need someone that's going to do a bit of mentoring.
My biggest goal is to just get you at least across the finish line so we can, talk more about the offer and about the fun stuff. So, all right, so we have a senior software engineer who is now entering their reference phases with our company. But the issue here is that he has an offer with another startup already, a much larger established company with a really solid offer terms. He's also pending another offer with another company that's gonna give him an associate director position. My company will only offer probably senior or lead, so I'm not really sure if he wants a director level position. We can maybe work out something with the founder, but it's getting close. This is like bidding war territory, really focusing on what makes our companies compared to the other 2 really stand out and different, and really harp on that and remind and reinforce our candidate about all the aspects there. But at the end of the day, my job is get him to the offer stage, get him with great offer terms, and then do our best. We want him to be happy. Of course, we want him to choose our company, but whatever he goes with, the most important thing is, he's psyched because he'll be there for at least the next several years. But we'll do the best that we can here. It's getting close. I just wish he wasn't interviewing other companies, but that's how it is with engineers and good talent. They're always in process with other companies. So hopefully if references go well, and we should hopefully hear back from the company next day or 2 about next steps. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, we met for what was supposed to be an hour, and it ended up being over an hour and a half, if not close to 2 hours. So,
oh wow,
yeah, he's a nice guy, and seems like an interesting alignment and interesting position. And as he probably told you, he gave me a verbal offer, but said he'd be putting something together this weekend. And
wow, congratulations! I didn't know. So he gave you a verbal?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't give any details, but what he said, he's like,
It sounds like you haven't talked about the specific terms, right?
No, we haven't. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, the only thing that's changed on my end since I spoke with him, I did hear back from one of the other companies that I'm interviewing with. I don't have an offer from them, but I'm moving to the final stage with them. But there's a process of scheduling.
Just got off the phone with a candidate who's in the final offer stages from last week. He's interviewing for a director, head of product. He met with the founder for a coffee on Friday. It was only allotted to be an hour. They ended up talking for 2 hours, which is always a great sign. At the end of the conversation, the founder told my candidate that by early this week, he should be getting an official offer out to him. Nothing is concrete yet, but I followed up with the founder. I got positive signs. I just followed up with the candidate. He had a wonderful time. At this point, it's just anticipation, just eagerly waiting for what the terms are. I had an initial discussion with the founder a couple weeks back to kind of share with him the rough range the candidate will be looking for, but at the end of the day, it's really up to him on what he and the company thinks is fair. So when that happens, then if there's negotiations, we can start and commence that. But there's really nothing for us to do right now other than wait. My candidate is also in the final process with another company. He's having a final round this week. He's expecting it to go well and get an offer, but with all things considered, he ranks our company, an early stage startup, #1 in terms of interest compared to this other company, which is established and profitable. It's funny because most people would probably pick the bigger, more stable company, but if COVID taught us anything, nothing is stable. So we'll see. I think everything's looking good so far. This is gonna be hopefully a lot less stressful, depending on what the offer terms are, than my engineering offer, which is gonna be a bidding war compared to two other companies. But we'll see what happens. It's not done until you get something in writing. So I'm going to stay on top of this for today and hopefully tomorrow, and expect there to be no obstacles and an offer come out. Great sign for starting a brand new week. Hopefully these two offers are inching forward. Just looking to close both of them and calling it an amazing week. So let's see what happens.
Our mission is to work with mission-driven brands to design, build, and grow their e-commerce presence.
All right, just got off the phone with a potential new client. The whole purpose of the call was just for him to learn more about who we are, for us to learn more about who they are. It seems like right now they have a pretty good handle on their hiring, but they're looking to go into hyper growth in the next month or two, and they want to move forward and already set up a follow-up call to learn more about our process, exactly how we can help step by step, and us to really finalize the agreement if and when we choose to start. So they're really cool, very mission driven, also located here in New York City. Looks like they're hiring across multiple departments, and eager and excited to work with them. So good initial call.
After a super long and productive and frantic day, no better way to end it with some blueberries and chocolate chip homemade waffles, which is still hot.
All right, workout done, ready to attack a busy day. Let's do it. Despite the other offer, in terms of overall interest and excitement, he still ranks. He has an offer already. You know, you still have a couple things that you can leverage. Definitely emphasize the differentiating, kind of the unique factors of working at a smaller company like yours that offer more opportunities and tangibles that bigger companies won't necessarily have. Talk to him again on what makes you different, what makes joining a smaller team potentially better for him as a next step in terms of like joining a much larger company. So spoke with my client who's hiring for a senior software engineer. I have a senior software engineer late in process with him. He's in the reference stage. Seems like it went well. This is the founder calling me to be like, hey, I am interested about this guy. Like, where is he with his other interview activities? My candidate has another offer with another company, got about 170 there. My company is very small. And initially when I first spoke to him, he wanted to join a smaller company, and he conveyed to me that what he thinks is best for his next career would be to join a small, fast-growing team where he can touch the full stack, which is what my client can offer him. So assuming the interest is still there, which I believe it is, and my client wants to move forward and offers him something comparable or a strong offer, I still think there is a good chance we can make this done. Again, with engineers, it is honestly like, gotta have some faith in the process. It's super competitive. This happens almost all the time with good engineers. And then it's all about tact, 5-star, hands-on service with the candidate and client, navigating everything and making sure that hopefully we can get to an offer and a situation where the candidate feels good in accepting. So fingers crossed. maximizing whatever budget that we have on things that are the most important or the ones that push the needle, right? So
to utilize the resource that you have and not, spend extra money is by repurposing content, like that's a great way that what they're gonna then follow you is for valuable content that gives them good advice.
So I had a good call with a member of our team who's running social media strategy. Like I mentioned in the previous video, social media is definitely something we're taking a lot more seriously, as I feel like the future of hiring and recruiting would definitely utilize a lot of these platforms a lot more into the future. So we're doing a lot of testing, recalibrating, watching numbers, just had a chat with her to figure out, where to focus our budget, where to focus our time, where are we seeing returns and how we can grow. It's been a lot of fun learning the different strategies and different audiences for each platform. I personally enjoy it a lot, but always want to keep tabs with the team every single week to make sure we're on track and we're still growing. Hey, so quick update. Just wanted to share with you not so good news. As you saw from my last video from last week, we had a senior software engineer going into final round offer stage with a successful financial company. Everything was going well. He loved the company, they loved him. Offer was in sight. We were pumped. We were excited. The offer terms came out. The candidate finally divulged that, to make him move, to make him say yes, he needs at least a 2 in front of that number. Company came out with 170. And if you're watching this right now thinking, who the heck would reject an offer for $170,000? Well, in this day and age, really good software engineers can. It's a talent market. Many good talent have multiple options. My Kent specifically has companies and recruiters knocking on his door every single day to pitch him their opportunity, who can pay him what he's looking for or more. And so 170 was not gonna cut it. I went back to the company saying, hey, can you please come a little higher? They're like, you know what? We're gonna schedule him with a call with our CTO. They had the call scheduled. They also had a great chat, after which my candidate emailed me saying, hey, we had a very good conversation. They're gonna see what they can do and get back to us. We waited 2 days. They came back with 180, and they came back with 180 plus equity without really making an effort to clarify what the equity terms are. Equity is fake money or not real money. It's based on speculative future prices. But what companies can do is show you that depending on a hypothetical exit or a scenario, your equity today can equate to X amount of money in the future. Of course, it's not real, but it helps candidates to be able to quantify the holistic package. Not just that, they also had a complicated equity options that they were working with, and despite attempts from my candidate and myself to clarify, they just honestly wouldn't make the effort to clarify, which is really, really weird, because you want to do whatever you can to attract and close talent. If you're not going to make an effort to make your equity crystal clear and not even making a budge on the salary, how the heck would you be able to hire people? So it honestly boggled my mind. But what boggled my mind even more is that they were only able to budge to 180. I mean, 180 is still $10,000 more, but still $20,000 short of the minimum I can be looking for. And without even making the effort to clarify equity, what that means, and the benefits, it's like they almost shut off and became lazy at this point. It came to a point where my candidate, no matter how hard he tried, I also reached out back to the client, the company, to see what they can do. Nothing. I reached out back to my candidate saying if he's willing to be more flexible or open. He's like, you know what, 200 is really my minimum. It came to a point where my candidate decided to reject and withdraw from the offer, which breaks my heart, because I know that something could have been done here on the company side to make it a little bit more competitive. They had him so close. They loved him. He loved the company. Everyone was happy. And to not be able to close that financial gap is like, oh, it's heartbreaking, because this company I work with, I've been working with them for many years. They're not a 10-person team. They will have almost 200 people. They raised tens of millions of dollars, venture backed. They're going to hyper growth right now. Every good talent counts right now. And this was gonna be super important, because they were considering him for a director level position, but they were not giving him a comparable direct level salary, which is very, very odd. I guess the good news is that, they left things on good terms. I still have good relationships with both the company and candidates, but it's one of those things where I felt like it should have happened. Like, the stars were aligned. Everyone was happy. It was going really, really smooth. He was getting along even with the CTO It didn't work out. But like recruiting, like with sales, you gotta just roll with the hits, roll with the lows and enjoy the highs. You can't win every single time. I just had to say goodbye to a potential $30,000 commission placement. But it's okay, show goes on, gotta try again, and we'll get this closed. You guys are growing pretty crazy.
We are trying to grow. I want to hire probably 2 or 3 more people this summer, and then another 4 or 5 before the end of the year.
Jeez Louise. Just wanted to ask some basic questions. So I know it seems like the paid acquisition specialist email and the paid acquisition paid social, those are like the more junior positions, right?
Email acquisition, you really just need to know how paid marketing works, and you could run ads. So this person's going to be like scouring, okay, CNN has 5 daily newsletters, and they would be managing our ads within those newsletters, for example.
Yeah, so like I see here, you guys are obviously looking for a CRM person as well. Is there any specific CRM experience you need from this person, or just more general?
Nothing specific. We use Blue Shift and MailChimp.
So that's 1 to 2 years. And what's the salary cap, Brian, for the CRM?
70 to 110.
All right, just got off the phone with a client of ours, been working with them. He's a VP of marketing. His team and his company is going through hybrid growth. So they're looking to double, almost triple the headcount, which is exciting. They have 4 active roles open. Once those are closed, possibly another 5 to 7 after that. So it's really, really exciting to see them grow, and really happy to help them along the way. So just picked up the roles, went over each role in detail, understanding what exactly he's looking for, years of experience, the salary cap. The clearer the idea that we have in terms of the ideal profile, the better we can do to target the exact person when we go search for them. The hardest thing is like talking to people who don't know what they want, and then you really have to kind of cast them out a little bit wider, and then kind of go through the process of elimination, go through different rounds via feedback to really understand what the hiring manager wants. But it's always great. It makes our life easier if we can work with someone who knows what they want from the get-go. So gonna hit this hard. Hopefully we can close a couple positions throughout the summer and make it a good one.
I don't have a written offer from the other company yet. I only have it verbally. So if I don't receive that today, then I'll make a decision off of less imperfect information than would be ideal. But gotta make a call.
This is something that we expected initially. Like we knew that this other company was big, and we knew that if they came out with an offer, it obviously would be bigger cash-wise, right? And you're just kind of going through the process here as a formality, doing your due diligence. So like, how do you? I'm really in your corner here, just trying to like find an optimal situation to help.
I would have expected something to change, given the way things have played out this week. Never mind the fact that I'm literally on vacation driving to Acadia National Park.
Yeah.
There's no cell access today.
Yeah.
So I would have expected something to change.
Let me do my job, what I do well, what I always do day to day every week for a lot of candidates. Let me see how I can help the situation. I can follow up with him and just understand his thought process and reconfirm if everything he said to you was true, or if he can actually come up. But I want to know, will that really make a difference? What if he can come up like 5K? Would that be like, oh wow, like yeah, like then I'll like accept. That makes me feel good. So I want to know that from you.
What I'm asking for isn't anything specific, but it's something that is different than what was stated before, either in terms of the time frame with which a decision can be made, in terms of the base that you're at, or at some other portion of the contract.
Wouldn't even be able to go close to 150. So just the fact that you even have an offer with 150 is obviously great. You also got a single-digit percentage, which obviously it doesn't mean anything to you now, but it's significant, right? Yes, you got another offer from a larger company, and as expected, the cash is stronger, the cash is higher. This is what I see all the time. Appreciate if you can just come up a little on the salary, that would really help them make an answer. Then now they have a clear incentive to do so, right? But you saying, I don't have anything specific and I can't guarantee that it's really gonna change my decision. We're playing with apples and oranges, but cash to cash, we're looking at a 20K gap, right? Even though you have equity. So like, what can we do here and how can I help?
Oh my God, stressful situation. So I just got off the phone with a candidate of mine who got an offer with one of my companies, which is an early stage company. He got about 150 with about 1% equity, which is significant for pre-Series A. For a head of product role, he just got another offer with a much larger company. They offered him 175. He knew going into this, and I made it very clear that there is a high chance if he got an offer with a bigger company, the cash compensation would be significantly larger. And he understood that because like cash and money isn't everything for him. It's all about working at a new environment, a new challenge. He loves the founder of the smaller company, the ability to wear multiple hats and really just take ownership of the product roadmap for the whole product and platform that they're building. That really excites him. But he did not anticipate in any way that the delta of the salaries would be this big. And he just merely went through the interviews with this big company just as a formality, just to be respectful. But then he got an offer for 170. We're playing with a $25,000 delta. And even though he understands that like my offer for him is significant, you can't forget and ignore the fact that you have another offer that much larger. So what I'm thinking I need to do here, and so I just got the phone with him and I just try to see if, you know, how he's feeling, if we can't do anything with the offer, like is he okay? Is he still leaning to kind of choose our company? Or is that gap gonna be too big where he's just gonna go with a larger company? It seems like his interest is still with ours, which is great, but now I need to kind of go back to the founder and see if they can come up a little bit. You know, I think every little thing here can help. The smaller company is also being a little aggressive in the timeline on when my candidate should accept the offer. Today's Friday, my candidate just got the verbal offer from the bigger company this morning, and then my company is making him or pushing him to make a decision today. And he's like, you know what, I'm still leaning towards a smaller company, but if I can have another day or two just to kind of relax and really mull things over. And he's also like, you know, traveling with his family, a lot of things going on right now. He'd be in a lot more better headspace to make a decision. So he kind of feels a little overwhelmed, a little pressure. I'm here to do my job to see if we can do anything with the offer. If we can't do anything with the cash, I'm gonna try to get him more time. Ideally, I wanna try to get him both. But man, this is stressful. You know, he told me that like if he should have a part of him just wanted to accept the offer and just shut down this larger interview process. That would have been ideal for me, but now that he has two offers and one is significantly larger, it's all about what we can do for him now to make that decision-making process easier. So stressful Friday, but exciting at the same time. Let's see what we can do.
You know, if it comes down to just a compensation conversation, I want him to at least acknowledge it's not the role, it's not the environment, it's not the challenge. That's the question. It's compensation. When he said he had the conversation with the other company, I said, you know, traditionally, I would say, you know, I'm not going to allow you to leverage your other conversations with me. Yeah, give me a decision. I gave you an offer. It's a hard offer. Why would I allow you to get a hard offer from a competitor? Either take my offer or don't. If this other company is something that he remotely is appetizing to use, then go with them. I mean, we'll go back out and we'll find the right person. I think our upside is better, and not just compensation-wise, but the role itself. If we can get there and it makes sense, we'll get there. It's probably not going to be compensation. I'll be quite clear with you. I like the fact that we're forcing you to get into the boat.
You know, what kind of caught him off guard was just the delta and the significance of the delta. He's in no way expecting you to compete with cash. And like I made that very clear with him in the beginning, saying the only issue is that I don't think he's gonna get all the information from the other company before end of day. And yes, I totally understand your perspective. You're like, why the heck should I let him complete the offer with a competitor? It makes no sense. But there's a little bit more to that. Like and I'm sure he's shared it with you, there's also just a lot going on in his personal life. Like he's literally in transit to Maine right now. He's dealing with a lot of personal things with his kids and his wife. He literally is like in the middle of vacation right now, dealing with a lot of family stuff. So he's dealing with a lot. So like he wants to get all that information to you to have a good discussion. But A, I don't think he's going to be able to get that from his company. And B, he's feeling obviously like you're pushing him really strong to, you know, give him a decision by today. I think there's a timing aspect there too. Like if you're a little bit flexible with that, I think he appreciates that. And one more follow-up about the comp. Again, he's in no way expecting you to go to 175. You can if you want to. I think that's great. I think it's more psychological because the last two jobs, he took a significant pay cut. Hey, if you can come up a little bit above 155, I think psychologically he's like, okay, at least my cash is going in the right direction. If it's as simple as like him just needing to just simply ask you for more time to you, then Yeah, he should do it. He totally should do it. I just got the phone with a candidate earlier who got a higher offer and thinking that the client is strong-arming him. I just got the phone with the founder and he really likes the candidate, but he just feels like the candidate is having a tough time and just really asking what he wants. If the candidate wants more money, if the candidate wants more time, just ask for it and clearly talk about it. I think that's the main issue here. It's not a time issue, it's not a money issue. The deal is almost there. We're in the 12th hour. This is the last 10 yards. And I think the candidate is making things a lot harder than he's making it out to be. He's having a huge case of analysis paralysis, and the founder is open and willing to make accommodations and make additional accommodations to close the gap and to make the deal happen. So now I just have to go back to the candidate and be like, hey, whatever your issues are, whatever you need, whatever questions you have, you just need to clearly ask for it, because even if you think you did, that's not how it came across to the founder. And he's willing to play ball with you and make things happen and just get this done. So now I need to go back to the candidate, see what I can do. They already have a call scheduled later today. Hopefully that will make more progress, but we're almost there. Come on. Like super positive. Like he just wants to find a way to get this done with you and just move past this and get to work. We just need to talk about exactly why do you need more time, right? And so like if you have questions regarding around like comp or anything, right? Like timing or you have any other outstanding questions. He just wants you to just be super clear with him and be like, hey, like this is what I'm thinking. These are the issues. What are your thoughts? Let's talk about it. So like if the only reason for you to ask time is for you to progress with other interviews, like that's obviously not gonna give the best impression. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it's a good point, and that's part of the reason why I'm going to try to message something to him more thoughtfully this evening to not fall into those traps.
So I called the candidate again and explained the situation and the founder's stance with him. He seems to get it, so I think he's going to find some time later today to email or call the founder directly. And I hope at that time they're gonna have a lot more clear discussion. He can share exactly with the founder what he wants, what his concerns are, and hopefully we can progress one step further to an offer that would be accepted. Just communicate directly, and just make it simple and just be like, hey, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling, just talk to him clearly, and then I'm sure you guys can figure it out. He's itching, him and his team are itching. This is a very important position for them and an exciting roadmap and vision, and they would love nothing more than to do some great stuff with you. So
Yeah, I think in the calm of day and in front of a computer with good Wi-Fi and the kids not eating mac and cheese around me, it'll all work.
All right, so the candidate called me again. He's in Maine taking vacation with his family. He emailed the founder saying, hey, I hear you. I talked to Preston, all is good. I got kids around me. I got like printer problems. I got logistical Airbnb problems. So there's a lot going on in my mind, and just, I need a day or two just to calm things down. So it sounded like he heard what I asked him to do earlier, which is a great sign. And let's just see how it goes. But that phone call, even though short, sounded very positive and hopeful. So I am cautiously optimistic that this is going now in the right direction. We'll see what happens. Not really sure if I can actually close this on Friday. It's already almost 4 p.m. So if you're curious and you're excited to see what happens, make sure you tune in for next week's video. But we'll see you in a little bit later as I have a couple more calls to wrap up the day and the week.
Yeah, I think they're really, really solid, man. I think I fit in really well there. That's kind of what this weekend is about. I'm going to kind of chill out and just kind of think about my next move here and try to figure it out so I can give everyone an answer early next week.
Negotiating is completely natural. It happens. And, if you want to do that, you don't have to feel bad about it.
Yeah, no, I'm not shy about negotiating a little bit if I feel like it's necessary.
So they came out with 150 and then like they're willing to raise your base or something?
At 6 months. Yeah, it's like at 6 months you would get like a 10% bonus, and then at 12 months there'd be the option of 10% and then hold the salary there.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, it doesn't really bother me. It's just something to think over. You know what I mean?
The third potential offer, another senior software engineer interviewing with another client of ours, which also happens to be an early stage startup. So we found out he has an offer with a bigger company, offered him like 170 all in, 160 cash salary. He has another offer with another company he's previously worked at for an associate director role. They offered him 160 plus bonus. And then my company came out with something that's really, really uncommon. They came out with like a 150 salary, and then after 6 months, they're gonna increase it more, and then after like a 6 more months or something, they're willing to raise it more and then hold it there. I've seen this before, it's not really common. I don't really think it helps my company, considering that they're the smallest company and they're offering him the lowest salary right now. If they want to have any running into this, they need to come out with the strongest offer from the get-go, and this is just not it. I don't feel wow, I don't feel excited. The candidate sounds excited, which is great. He sounds positive. Maybe it's enough for the candidate to kind of choose our company, but I want to do what we can to maximize this competitive package so that, it can really be truly competitive with all the other offers now, not 6 months from now. So what I need to do is go back to the founder of this company to see what we can do and see what he's willing to do. And that will give us leverage to talking to our candidate next week. But just like the previous deal, unfortunately, this is not something I can close this week. Was hoping to close at least one of them so we can truly celebrate this evening or the weekend. But hey, this is the name of the game. This is what happens. So it's gonna be really nerve-wracking. I'm gonna be on my A game next week, hoping to close both of these. If I can close one, that'd be great. If I can close both, that'll be phenomenal. All right, and that wraps up a whole nother week. Thank you so much for staying and watching till the end, where I showed you behind the scenes of what it's like to work as a recruiter in the technology industry at his own technology recruiting agency. It's been a jam-packed week. It was very, very, very productive. Had a lot of interviews happening, had a lot of initial interviews happen with different positions that are simmering, slowly moving forward. But the big thing that I want to cover this week is that I had 3 offers that I wanted to close. Unfortunately, lost the first one. That's a potential $30,000 commission fee, which still makes me cry inside, but still have to move on. It's the name of the game. The second offer, as you heard me speaking to both the founder and the candidate a couple times today, trying to finesse this whole thing and make it move forward. Long story short, the candidate got an offer from our company. He got another offer from another company that's bigger, but then his other offer is $25,000 more in terms of salary than my small startup. So I had to go back to the founder to see if they can come up. I have to manage expectations with the candidate. This is the most stressful and exciting and exhilarating part of being a recruiter. It is the offer stage in epic negotiations. So it doesn't really help that also my candidate is with his family. They went up to Maine in the middle of nowhere, so it's kind of hard to even get in touch with him. So that has been making it a lot more difficult in terms of communicating, but I think that my conversations with him ended well. We seem positive and optimistic going into the weekend, where he's going to follow up with the founder on Monday and hopefully have a clear enough discussion where we can reach a situation where he's happy to make a decision. The third offer is also a senior software engineer. As I told you, engineers are super competitive. Typically, if you find a good one, they're in process with other companies. Here, in this situation, he has an offer from my company, but he also has an offer with 2 other companies. Both of them are a little bit bigger. They both coincidentally offered him roughly the same thing, based about $160,000 with a cash bonus, while my company came out at $150 with a promise that in 6 months, if he does a good job, they'll increase his salary. That's not really concrete, and that's kind of gives the candidate more of a risky vibe. It's not something he can kind of count on from day one. So apples to apples, our offer is the lowest, which is not the position that we want to be in. Of course, money's not everything to my candidate, but it's still an important factor to consider, and I would rather it at least be equivalent or a little bit more than the other companies, considering the fact that my client is the smallest of them, which has the highest perceived risk. So if a small company wants to compete against the biggest ones, they need to come out strong from the get-go and not come out with an offer, unfortunately, that's the weakest. So I have a lot of work to do here. I need to go back to the founder to see if he can come up. I need to constantly stay on top of my candidate to see how he's really feeling about my opportunity and what I can do to help him get to a frame of mind where he's willing to accept. So unfortunately, cannot close this one as well. Have to wait through the weekend, so there's no huge unfortunate celebration that's happening tonight. But I just have to have faith and pray and be optimistic all weekend that I can do at least one of these. If I can do both of them, that would be amazing. Other than that, we are picking up a couple new exciting roles with an old client and a new client next week, which I'm really excited about. And we're actively interviewing and recruiting for software engineers, specifically senior across all stack and languages. We're also working a ton of marketing roles across e-commerce and software companies, and skill set ranging everything from email to CRM to acquisition to paid social. So if you know anyone, have them reach out to us. We are also looking for product managers, preferably B2C. B2B is fine as well. Salary here can go up to 160. So if you are any of these professionals or you know anyone, please have them reach out. We have a really awesome referral bonus plan as well, and pay up to $10,000 for introing us to the right person. So please definitely keep that in mind. Other than that, had a lot of fun as always to take you behind the scenes and show you just what I do every single day. It's not glamorous, it's not exciting, it's basically me just sitting here doing my thing at this table on this chair, but I hope it goes to show how an exciting and exhilarating career and job prospect that this can be. Got a lot of things planned for next week, got 2 offers to close for next week, got new clients to bring on board next week as well. So gonna take my weekend, recharge, relax, and make sure I'm on my A game for next coming week. If you enjoyed this video, you have any other questions, you wanna see more recruiting content, let me know. And also don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us out a lot and kicks up this channel. Other than that, thank you so much again. Hope you all had a great week and you crushed your goals, and we'll see you on the next one.